Hi, welcome back to Living on the Farm. Well, today we've spent the day in the shop on a project and we're getting ready to test it out. We had a self-manufactured squeegee slash scrape that we use in the summer here at the hoop barn on the concrete runway where all the water and stuff from the waste of the cattle, and sometimes they splash water out of the waterers out there and it gets pretty sloppy. We shoved it out. We made a prototype last year and we used it for a while, and earlier this spring I was using it and I kind of got a little rough with it and put a little damage to it, and then a few days later we put some more damage to it, and finally it was beyond repair. So we decided that the concept works, so we decided to do something a little different. So we built this, and what this is here is a recycled skid steer rubber track that we took and we cut, and then we made a framework, and instead of the old one had about a small pipe framework, this is 2-inch square tubing on the framework. And just so happened that when we got into the track, it had this steel stuff in it here, these notches that grabbed onto the driver of the skid steer, and that just happened to lay right on there perfect on this tubing that we also recycled. We cut up an old piece to get this tubing, so we just welded this metal to these tubing, and it took us most of the day to build it, but we're going to see if it actually works here directly. But I do think this time it's heavy enough that if I get a little rough with it, I think it'll survive. So, but we'll see. This is this soup I was talking about in the summertime when the temperature goes up. These cattle drink about 10 to 15 gallons of water a piece a day, so that has to go somewhere. And they tend to congregate around the waterer and right in front of the waterer. So here's where they stand. This gets to be 2 or 3 inches deep, and this is just 2 days worth, I think. Maybe just a day. I think we actually borrowed a scraper and scraped it yesterday. So that's how much it builds up in a day, and then it's not good for the cattle, and I don't like the way it makes them look. They get a little dirt on them, so we're going to get it out of here. You're also you're going to notice that on our design we made it in kind of a little bit of a U-shaped design, and the reason for that is you can only push what it can hold in the middle, and by doing that it'll funnel that stuff into the middle and allow us to push more than if we were just to have made it in a rectangle. We have found over the years, so that's why we made it that way. Hopefully that's right. This is the same spot I was standing before we scraped. And as you can see now that all that slop is gone, this will have a chance now to dry before evening, give the cattle a better place to be. It took about 10 minutes to do this. It takes about as long to get the cattle back out of the way as it does to do it. But it seemed to work really well. I think we've kind of got the right tool for the job now, so it's all good.